Good afternoon. The time is now 2:02 in Trinidad and Tobago, and these are your news briefs to the hour on the Street 919 FM, courtesy Iwer Stage. Use your handset and text 9191 to make your contributions. The People's National Movement has proposed a new candidate for a presiding officer of the Tobago House of Assembly. This was the outcome of today's special meeting after newly elected assemblymen again failed to elect a presiding officer. The nominee will be revealed at the next meeting of the Assembly on Thursday afternoon. And at a press conference on Sunday in Port of Spain, opposition Senator Wade Mark called on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to make clear all the contract details into the purchase of two recently purchased fast ferries and two patrol boats for the Coast Guard. The combined cost of the vessels is $1.079 billion. Mr. Mark is accusing the government of overspending for the patrol boats, saying that the public remains in the dark as to how much was borrowed for the purchase. Just before 9 a.m. today, several businesses were gutted by fire along the Eastern Main Road in Aruca. The cause of the fire has not yet been ascertained. Up to this point, no information is at hand regarding whether there were fatalities or casualties. And Caribbean Airlines is reminding the public that everyone departing the country must utilize the online exemption application process. In a statement today, CAL said effectively immediately everyone leaving Trinidad and Tobago must adhere to the new online exemption process implemented by the Ministry of National Security. And those were the news briefs to 2 p.m. on the Street 919 FM, courtesy Iwer Stage. Use your handset and text 9191 to make your contribution. Our next major newscast comes up at 4 p.m. right here on the Street 919 FM. Stay tuned. I am Jason Shields. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
News from the street. 919fm.com. Entertainment, information, conversation. All on Street 91.9 FM, the official station that defends the nation.
Like to hide in the dark to let the lips speak. Liquid supplement for them bird with a twisted and a chip beak. Hey, hey. Well, every time I show up, everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag, them go up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. When we arrive, bad minds start show up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rags and the flag, them go up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag, them boom. I defy the odds, just like the Crips just defy the bloods. Like how the wind scream defy the bugs. Like how the tall boats defy the mud, yeah. Them dress up me flow, so me do like Trino, and I rectify the clock. Wet me and put me in electric chair, but all they did was electrify the plugs. Watch me, them go hard, we go harder. I born for this, I'm the Luke Skywalker. There's no one in this business could go on like and them are my father. Hey, why move with the red eye? Lightsaber us is the Viking Jedi. Drive over them like a semi. Hey, 20,000 can rise against we like zombies on Juve morning. Hey, they can't stop the garland. They can't stop the garland, Lord. My name is Persistence and you can't stop hurricane from forming. They can't stop the garland. I want in time I tell them. Give me a vintage. Hey, bad, light back the fire and burn them. Light back the fire and burn them. Hey, give me a vintage. Bam, 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 bam. Light back the fire and burn them. Light back the fire and burn them. Well, every time I show up, everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag them go up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. When we arrive, bad minds start show up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag them go up. Everything blow up, everything blow up. All of the rag and the flag them. Welcome the vintage is calling. No Game of Thrones, Peter Dink is calling. I don't suffer from shrinkage, darling. Clean to me.
10 minutes after the hour of 2 o'clock on a beautiful Monday afternoon. It's the first day of the work week. Let me say welcome. You are listening to the program JuJu Love. My name is Juliet Davy, but you can always call me JuJu.
I'm 10 boy. I'm running on my business. I don't really care no business. We destroy the whole of them business. Hey, obstacle for the rise against we like zombies on Juve morning.
They can't stop the JuJu.
They can't stop the calling love.
My name is Persista.
You can't stop hurricane from forming.
They can't stop the JuJu.
I'm on in time, I tell.
As usual, Father, I lift your name on high. Your name is always worthy to be praised. I thank you for your grace, your mercy, your kindness, and of course, your tender, loving care.
Like back your fire and burn them. Like back your fire and burn them. Well, every time I show.
As usual, it's a beautiful day because this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and always be glad in it. Why is this Mr. calling me? I am on the air, Mr. Can you call me back, please? Yes. Sorry about that. No, sorry about that, folks. That person is calling from abroad. Yes. So as I was saying, it's a beautiful day because this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us always rejoice and be glad in it. Doesn't matter the challenges, the circumstances that you are facing in life, it is still a beautiful day. Make the best of it. Always count your blessings. I do, and it works. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to my ride and live, who is also my legal counsel and is here with me today to protect me and to guide me. So say good afternoon and welcome.
Juliet and Mr. Aruka here, and so good to be here, Juliet. We have some.
You're welcome.
Yes. And good afternoon to JuJu Warriors, and we have some serious matters to deal with.
Okay. So let's get straight to it because I'm already seeing 15 minutes going into our time. Right. I want to discuss today the continuing saga of the aftermath of the THA elections. And most recent, I think today, I stand to be corrected, they would have gone back to the assembly, yes, to make a presiding officer. And of course, the stalemate continues. I understand that on Thursday, God's willing, they would be going back to the chamber. And I understand as well, why this phone look to do that at this time, that the PNM has signaled a new person, a new name, new nominee for the presiding officer. And that person's name, they said, would be revealed in due time, meaning when next the sit-in comes up.
Well, one of the ways this can be done, Juliet, is that if they both, the two parties, can agree on an independent presiding officer, and also, and you give me a secretary, I give you a deputy sec. If they could come to consensus on that, well, then all is well. But that and a green mule is something that we ain't too short of witness in our lifetime.
Okay.
Because the party are so much at lock horns with one another. So I suspect but to be going on, are trying.
Okay.
They are trying.
Anyway, the discourse this afternoon, I want to take it down the road of a gentleman who appears within recent time to be losing it. And he's losing it really badly.
Yes.
So let me read quickly for you.
Fast.
Yes. I'm seeing something blinking on my... Let me read quickly for you all. Pleasant good afternoon to those of you on our live stream, by the way, Facebook, IG, and YouTube. And let me give you the numbers to call one time. 342-0081, 7711791, 4665391. Hold on to those numbers. We are not taking your calls just yet. We have to do our editorial. They are not hearing Mr. Ruka. Your mic here is on, so can you check your mic there and see if the knob? Okay.
All right. I'm on now?
Okay. Can you tell me, check mic 1 2 1 2
1 2 1 2 3 4.
Right. Can you tell me if you are hearing him clearly now? Thank you. Right. So I want to go to a gentleman by the name of Ralph Mirage.
Jesus, that reprobate?
Because you know I just have to
Juliet, that reprobate?
All right, wait.
Okay.
Article in the Express.
Ralph Mirage again?
Article in the Express newspaper. Thank you, Tobago.
That after you have had nothing good since I know Ralph Mirage to say about Tobago and he and his squad.
Right.
Go ahead, darling.
It goes like this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just to give you an idea.
Article, yeah.
Just when I was getting utterly disillusioned with the futility of this country's tribal politics, the people of Tobago delivered a shocker in last Monday's House of Assembly elections. The 6-6 tie provides another chance to move this country forward. We must first get over the constitutional crisis. The tie binds, it produced a deadlock in the election for a presiding officer without which the assembly is not in place. A chief secretary cannot now be elected or fresh elections held. Leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, has called for a proper adult conversation to resolve the issue. The Tobago People's National Movement wants the Parliament involved in solving the problem and is willing to return to the polls, but the PDP says it will not be bullied and is heading to the courts. In the meantime, as the law allows, the THA's outgoing Executive Council stays in place pending constitution of the new assembly. While any extended incumbency could benefit the PNM politically, any prolonged occupation of office will be seen as usurpation of power. Beyond the constitutional crisis, the results are indubitably a victory for the PDP. It reveals a strong dissatisfaction with the PNM in Tobago. 4. Notwithstanding its organizational strength, long-standing on the island, and having state resources at its disposal, notwithstanding 2 ferries and a 3rd for the sea bridge, the construction of a new hospital, police and fire stations, and the start of new airport terminal building, notwithstanding PNM patronage with THA resources, a Tobago-born Prime Minister campaigning hard on the island, and the PNM starting a new 5-year term. The Tobago electorate turned away from the pervasive PNM staleness. The party lost considerable ground, having gone into the election with 10 of the 12 seats. It is the worst result for the party since 2001 and signals a desire for something new in Tobago. I will leave it there. Thank you, Tobago. Now, that came as a shocker to me, Mr. Ruka, and listeners. That came as a shocker to
Ralph
me.
can't shock me at all. Sorry, he shocked you.
Go ahead.
But he had to use millions of volts to shock me. Ralph is one of the most fork-tongued, double head that I've ever heard in my life. Ralph have no credibility to start with. I would not read Ralph Marage's articles, and I have decided that a long time ago. Of what relevance Mr. Marage is to our democracy? What relevance is he to anything at all? Mr. Marage will go into any party or dance that will give him a free pass. He just does what comes naturally to him. He see a little opening, he push in his stink mouth, and there is it.
Well, you don't go Munila's.
Yeah, well, I'm just quoting him.
Well,
he puts in your offensive political mouth.
Well, right. That is more politically correct and more radio friendly.
Right.
Because, we don't want to put the radio in any station.
Okay, right.
But I want to go back to the headline, Thank You, Tobago. Now, when one reads and examines the article, he seems to be flip-flopping a lot. And Thank You, Tobago, to my mind, speaks of the national landscape, political landscape, in which the configuration is how many seats? 41?
41, 39 here and 2 in Tobago.
Right.
And that is where the real battle is, eh?
Right. Thank you.
That is where the real
Thank you. Now, you see, you made a point about not reading the articles and giving it any traction. It's not about giving it traction. It's about debunking their utter rubbish. And about coming here and allowing the people to judge.
To be guided by Ralph
Marage. To be judged after we would have debunked what they have to say, those political scientists and commentators and whatever they are calling themselves. But what is interesting about Ralph Marage and the others who seem to have some kind of home in the media, like Winford James and they, interestingly, prior to the THA's election, none of them could not have written any commentary with respect to how the results of the election in Tobago was going to go. Because all of them were of the opinion that it would have been licks like fire, licks like peas for Watson Duke and the PDP in Tobago. Now that the results came out, PDP got a little traction. They're
riding the rhythm.
They're riding the rhythm.
They're riding the rhythm.
They're riding the rhythm.
Hoping for political expediency out of it.
Thank you very much.
Political currency out of it.
But prior to that, none of them who call themselves political analysts and scientists, they could not say a word.
The PNM in Tobago disciplining the PNM in Tobago. Them jumping out and call. The PNM disciplining in Tobago.
Thank you. So let's go back.
Fix the business.
Let's go back to Ralph Marage's Thank You, Tobago. Because I see Tobagonians, I hope you are listening. You have to understand the behavior of these people and the convenience of these people. Because going back to the configuration of the national landscape, 41 seats. You must thank Watson because the PNM, as Ralph rightfully said, and that's why he said he's flip-flopping, as he rightfully said, the PNM is a strong and stable party with a proven track record.
Oh, you know that?
And it takes over the years, it has taken a number of splinter parties to come together in some kind of arrangement, some kind of a marriage, some kind of a shotgun,
unholy alliance,
a shotgun wedding in order to beat the PNM. The history is there. So with this 2 seat here in Tobago, and mind you, this is not the national election. This is the THA election. So the results as we would have seen in the August 10th election, doesn't change, and the seats that they would have gained in the THA doesn't mean some big election. Thank you very much.
Mr. Maraj knows that, you know.
Thank you very much. But you see, thank you, Tobago, because they are now holding on to that if we take away those two Tobago seats, if we help Watson Duke, to push the narrative about autonomy for Tobago, and we get that separation, we now stand a better chance of beating the PNM in Trinidad without the two Tobago seats. That is what that thank you is about.
That's what it is about. That's what it's about. So in essence, what they're hoping for is that they can further divide Tobagonians, further separate and Tobagonians who have a paternal interest with Trinidadians. Because my parents are Tobagonian, all my cousins and everything Tobagonian are Trinidadian. I have a paternal interest in Tobago. They see a little hairline fracture, they call it a crevice and a nook. So if Tobagonians so fickle to even contemplate the words of Mr. Maraj and all of them so-called political science, and they come in all shapes and sizes.
All shape and size.
And all with different interests. The Winford and the Vanas and all of them come with different interests, but the same thing they want to do is
different interests, but their
well, their aims and objectives
are the same.
Is the same.
Are the same.
The same.
To get rid of the People's National Movement.
Right. And all selfish,
Yes.
All for self-aggrandizement. Mr. James and Varas and all of them have spent their career already. What they're really fighting about? What they're fighting about? Trying to force Watson Duke on the Tobagonian. And well, you know, Ralph and them go jump in and with their wet foot and see if they could help spread that divide. But they will soon realize that is not going to work. This little.
But you see, I want Tobagonians to understand something. Thank you, Tobago, because it is convenient now for Ralph Maraj.
To say that.
And I will go a little further.
Ralph had the worst things to say about
I will go a little further to say that it is deep-seated in racism.
That's what we're talking about.
Because let me tell you,
that is what we're talking
we
about.
We must not take out of the equation Sat Maraj, guru of the Indo community,
and Kamala Prasad, who said talk. You represented we.
Thank you.
I don't know who represented all of we.
And
Ralph had at no point in time denounced those statements.
What about the statements? Denounce the statement with respect to all Tobagonians lazy, they are rapists, they like to thief white woman camera, they like to just spend whole day on the beach running crab and goat race.
They never did. And I noticed something. The only time they supported and really supported, because they supported Mr. Duke when he used statements that were ultra-violent to the law.
On the street, 919. The Royal Castle Soca Shot on the street, 919.
Easy little boy, don't know voice to the ghetto youths and Rafi B. Okay, party, we are party now. Listen.
Love in my heart, rum in my veins. I so love my rum. Bring an next bottle again. I so love my rum. Bring an next bottle again. Love in my heart, rum in my veins. I so love my rum. Bring an next bottle again. I so love my rum. Bring an next bottle again.
Yo, Rafi, tell them we are drinker, whether spring, summer, fall or winter. Yo, and if you don't believe me, just go and take a look on the Insta, and you will see beer yak on the IG. And when me drink out our road, let many see. Yo, when you see me and Ravi in a party, we get the people the energy. How you feeling? Intoxicated, still every buckle pop me taste it. So me big up every factory make it, and we don't really care who ate it. No.
They say I'm like a woman, that's not good for me, but woman is the best thing my eyes ever see. You can say what you want, you could be a hitter. When the fox got get the creep, did they say it's a what? Love in my heart, rum in my veins. I so love my rum. Bring an expert again.
That was the Royal Castle Soca Shot on the Street 919. That was the Royal Castle Soca Shot on the Street 919.
No greater time for peace. Be what we know we're meant to be. Like to hide in the dark to let the lips speak.
Okay, so we have just about 2 minutes again in which we can continue the conversation before we go to the actual ads segment. Yes, Mr. Ruka, where were we?
Well, we were saying that the Tobago Executive Council is strongly entrenched via the Constitution. The last time we were here, we had the Constitution, the THA Act in front of us. We were talking about the Chief Secretary and Deputy Chief Secretary position. But Section 34 of the Act speaks exclusively, with no vagueness this time, of the Executive Council of the THA. The THA Executive would comprise of the Chief Sec, the Deputy Chief Sec, and no more than seven secretaries. And they run the THA. The THA Act is clear. So there's no vagueness here. The THA Act is clear. Unless we can remove the deadlock from above, they cannot get to the executive, because we must first elect a presiding officer, elect a successor, and then we can install a new executive. Other than that, we have a situation that cannot be removed easily. Now, here the problem in this: we most likely will need constitutional reform. We would have to make adjustment to the constitution, and then from the constitution we can make adjustment to the THA Act, and then the Elections and Boundary Act, where we will get no support. We will get no such cooperation from the opposition.
Good, leave it there. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Cause you are my everything, and I'm gonna do anything. Go put that on everything, oh, for you. If I give you all my love, and would you treasure? Would you cherish it and never let me go? Cause you're not gonna find someone to love you better, oh. If I want it, then for certain I want you. Make I go love you, Jaja. Make I go love you tender. Make I go love you tender. Make I go love you tender. Oh, tender. Oh, my love the eternally. I love you for eternity. Oh, my love the eternally. I love you for eternity. I'll swim the deepest ocean to show my devotion, yeah. You know, see me open like a window, my love. I go walla for you. You know, see me feel you. Baby, that body, they good, oh. Nah. If I give you all my love, you know, would you treasure? Would you cherish it and never let me go? Cause you're not gonna find someone to love you better, oh. If I want it, then for certain I want you. Make I go love you, Jaja. Make I go love you, tender. Make I go love you, Jaja. Make I go love you, tender. Oh, tender. Oh, my love the eternally. I love you for eternity. Oh, my love.
Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Hi there, I'm Lester Suglal, inviting you to join me on the first, second and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Johnny Q Auto Parts Division says it's an assault on battery prices. Paul Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar, starting from $488. Yes, $488 for cars, trucks, and boats, backed by Massey Automotive, and only available at Tobago Color Shop, suppliers of paint, plumbing, and hardware materials. Old Farm Road, Shore Park, Tobago. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Call 725-5873 or 474-2456. And in Trinidad at Johnny Q, 15 R. Peter Avenue, Woodbrook. Remember, batteries from $488.
Better vision for your physical eyes, and through the eyes of faith, let healing arise in your mind, body, and spirit. At Natural Heal Ministries, we teach kingdom principles for living that brings the blessing of God to your mind, body, and soul.
NHM Professional Associates are located at number 10 Moody Stewart Street, Monterey Post, San Fernando. For more info, contact Dr. Desmond Phillip at NHM on 349-3494.
NHM Professional Associates can be heard live on the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 9:05 to 9:55 a.m.
Now there's a new way to pay your electricity bill.
Quick pay your bills today. Quick pay, it's a whole new way. Online, pay your bill one time. Yes, there is a whole new way to quick pay for your electricity. Yes, they made it easy. Just enter your account number, 4 clicks and it's over.
Introducing Quick Pay, a new service from the Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission that lets you pay your bill online with your credit or Visa debit chip card. Just enter the account number and contact information. Click Pay and you're done.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Everyone!
Welcome back. Time on the inside, 20 minutes to the hour of 3 o'clock. So we continue the discussion about Ralph Mirage et al. And thank you, Tobago. Now, Mr. Ruka, I want you to pay close attention to what Mr. Duke would have said in his article here. Now, he would have clearly confirmed that the PNM is a stable party. Right?
But Juliet, all of them have been confirming that inadvertently, you know.
Yes, I know.
They comment to spew lies.
Right.
Try to get pips. But the one thing that's always happened, they just come and let you know what PNM, how stable PNM is. I saw Donna had coming out, Juliet, after 5 years of Dr. Rowley this and Dr. Rowley that, and they're finding every fault on planet Earth, coming to tell us how good the good works that the PNM doing in Tobago.
Well, okay. Yeah. Okay. Hear what Ralph Mirage said again. he spoke about the
Tell me, take
sea
your time.
bridge
What you say about the sea bridge?
and the boats that the Tobagonians received. He talked about the police and the fire stations. He talked about the airport terminal.
That Ralph talking, eh?
That Ralph talking, right? And he went on and on about all the development that is taking place in Tobago, but yet still came back to talk about the Tobago electorate turned away from the pervasive PNM staleness. Now,
staleness, eh?
Developing
all them
development.
And he talking.
Thank you very much.
I think he's trying to push the point of the Tobagonian being ungratefulness, because they have been listening to Watson Duke and all of them. Like if all what Ralph said is not the truth. It is the truth.
It is.
The government have been paying particular attention to Tobago because Tobago have been crying out for development.
Yes.
And we know that. And we know the only people will develop Tobago is the PNM.
Yes.
And Tobagonians ought to know that. So this handful of miscreants that the papers, that the newspaper have been an enabler.
The
media have been an enabler, giving them editorial status to come in the air and spread lies.
Yes.
Oh, Dr. Early no good. He ain't developing the country. But all of a sudden, now that the PDP gained grounds in Tobago, we are talking about the development that took place, but only using the word notwithstanding. So notwithstanding the PNM did all the development, the PNM voted against the staleness. Well, who else? Notwithstanding.
But here Ralph again. Here Ralph again. But you see, when you listen to Ralph and them, you know what it brings you back to? That a people could know these fellas and what they're capable of
and still give them an ear.
Thank you very much. Hear what Ralph said? The Tobago People's National Movement wants the parliament involved in solving the problem and is willing to return to the polls, but the PDP says it will not be bullied and is heading to the courts. Now, listeners, viewers, Mr. Ruka, Watson Duke could talk to anybody about bullying. Watson Duke single-handedly bullied Sandals out of Tobago. Another development.
And admitted
that would have been another development to go down on PNM's record.
Watson Duke chase.
And the boss, he said, "Hi, Watson Duke," and so don't come back.
Yeah, when I become secretary,
you all will return.
I will bring back all it.
We all will return. But based on what we read here with the development, had Watson not bullied the PNM and Sandals today, Ralph would have been included in his list of development, Sandals in Tobago.
That is an oxymoron for Ralph to talk bullying when he talking about
Watson Duke
in the same sentence. Because Watson Duke attempted just a couple of days ago.
He bullied and he threatened a senior public servant in this country. Not one line from Ralph Mirage. Not one line from
But then Tobagonians have to be dumb, have to be foolish to be listening to Ralph. Because when they flip-flop their way through the Dutch statements, and then when you read between the lines, you realize that them fellas mama guy all the time. All the time they tell you Rowley and doing nothing in Tobago. Rowley. All of a sudden, he know about boat, airport, plane. No. In this last hour.
Thank you, Tobago. Because they see the PDP and their 6 seats that they cannot go into the parliament and hold the seat that they had as minority leader. He now come to tell us, thank you, Tobago. Thank you for what?
The poison chalice that
Tobago give them.
That Tobago give them?
Yes.
That what they're working on.
Let's go to the lines.
Go ahead.
Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. Let me say something. Some of these people are political hoppers, and it's whoever who could pay them or give them a piece of money, them good. And Mr. Ralph Mirage is somebody like that. And let me tell you something. If we debunking Mr. Ralph Mirage article, but if we used to read David Mirage articles, he used to be saying that Tobago should either become independent or form an alliance with Grenada to take away the African population, also the African votes. Now people will sponsor the PDP and they will put the PDP in a pedestal just for them to achieve one thing: one, more autonomy; two, independence. Watson Duke, they said, for James and all of them, they said their main goal is independence for Tobago, nothing else. And they believe the independence for Tobago is not for Tobagonians, you know. It's for them to live high and mighty, and for the poor to become real poor and in
when
distress.
When this caller finish, I want to address it before we forget them.
Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
So this is what all about. They're not really on controlling no THA. Their wish is for the Tobago to come independent, and then you will see when the election call, it will be more tilted, or they could now dream, the UNC could now dream of this being a reality, that they could come into power with with about, how much seats? It might be 19 or something like that. So they might be, they could tilt it. So read between the lines, they're really not on Tobago politics, and this Tobago thing, their main goal is for them to get more autonomy. After more autonomy is independence, because they believe taking away the two votes and not only that, what to do to want to save themselves. Because I heard them talking about Tobago becoming independent so they can create their own laws. It wouldn't be compliant with Trinidadian laws and so on. Yeah. So immediately he could sign something like what Panama and them signed. So when you see saying immediately he could protect himself, some of them hoisting themselves into politics when they know they are tainted, you know. It has nothing to do for the people and for the people. They know they are tainted. And so watch coming up with sadness, watch a slate. Watch the people who are there. Some of them who have allegations, some of them who she consistently put in and out the Senate. It's just because they are tainted, especially those are African descendants. I study Ms. Karen Shishara, probably maybe dig up some dirt on her. Why is she going another person who going and spoil her name? Anyway, I'll leave it for other people. I'll call later.
Thank you very much. Go right ahead.
Juliet, it's a Hindu policy from long time since Badi Sagat marriage.
Jenny, just hold a second.
Since the days of Badi Sagat marriage, and this theory have been out. They have been trying to remove them 2 seats from Tobago to see if they could get a better opportunity to seize Trinidad. And Tobago was always the one to call that vote and make sure that they save our democracy. Yes. So this strategy is not a new one.
Remember Robinson, and when he said that Tobago will become the head cornerstone.
So, yes,
remember
this is exactly
in one of the
what
elections?
he's talking about.
Yes.
So this strategy is not nothing
old. So
this is something
Tobago.
We understand. Continuation of the strategy.
We understand the underpinning, the racial underpinning that is taking place with respect to that whole
the reason why we have not had
Tobago.
The reason we have not had autonomy for Tobago as yet is because of that same UNC strategy.
That's correct.
To separate the island of for only their own political self-organization.
Leave it there. Keep that train of thought. Let's go to the caller.
But Mr. James and them have a different. Their position is different. They want autonomy because they want to seize power.
Keep that train of thought because we need to come back to that.
Right. Okay, good.
Caller, good afternoon and thank you for holding.
Good afternoon, Davy. Good afternoon, Mr. Ruka.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to all the JuJu warriors, male and female, Mr. Chance, my guru, Mother Sanapona, Mr. Angie, and all my golden girls. Miss Davy, no apology for speaking the truth.
None whatsoever.
And again, you continue to analyze the situation on point. Mr. Ralph Maraj is a hurt person. I will call him a social masturbator. Yeah, he's a failed journalist who is just trying
failed politician.
Everything fails.
He's a failure.
And he's hurt people. Their support for Watson Juke now, as you would have rightly said, it has to do with the 2 Tobago seats. If they can get Watson Juke into office and they fight and get autonomy for Tobago, it means to say they, in their mind, because the percentage
that
of
is
African
only in their mind,
Tobago is a large percentage, that they will weaken the African vote in Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Well, Trinidad, because they will have those 2 seats. So their whole thing to support Watson Juke man and putting bullying in the same breath and saying that people want Watson Juke say people bullying him, that alone says how low Mr. Marajani will think. And something he said when he started off speaking, when in that thing you're reading, he spoke about you're seeing that they're no longer in the tribal voting. And that alone to me shows how disingenuous he is. Because the two parties in Tobago is largely represented by persons of African descent. So isn't that tribal there?
Exactly.
So he just wanted to say something because they need the salivating at the side of their mouth right now with not only saliva but other substances also. And he needs to be heard and remain relevant. And they keep going to him because of his bitterness and his hurt and his hate he has apparently for Dr. Rowley and anything PNM. And he's good for reading for those who are opposed to PNM. So again, a social masturbator and a prostitute at that. Right.
I like how Jenny put it.
Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lucas.
Good afternoon.
First time I see you, man. From Lucas, see on the arm thing.
Yeah, hands
up,
guy.
What's up, people? Everybody good? Mr. P and them inside.
Yeah, Mr.
Welcome, Mr. P.
All right. Well, here my thing on the story. JuJu, you don't have to worry. Them Tobago, you tell what went on with them. Tobago, you just vote because this thing with the trace can is a blind thing, and they don't like different things. So they get what you can was able to mama guide them with as the blind different thing. But Tobago doesn't stupid the world to come back home. And for all who feel Tobago, I hear people talk about the tide turning and all kind of stupidness. If the tide was turning just a couple of months ago, the tide, they will have seen how the tide was turning when they vote overwhelmingly. Even what you can all get killed cut in Tobago just a month ago. So keep that in all your mind. Secondly, I want to say to the people, let's have a group in this country called Woman Child. Remember Woman Child, JuJu?
Yes.
When Watson you threaten to sing a female public servant, where was Woman Child?
Where are they? Yeah. Still, where are they?
Yeah. Where are Woman Child? And let me tell them something. All they don't fool all themselves. PNM ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere now. Nowhere soon. Because let me tell you, next election, they have to take PNM in their face for 4 more years. And next election, the Moruga seat where they end up with a still from the only way they go still that because I have a lot of friends in Moruga, they tell me because they don't want gypsy at all, which was a mistake. As the people going back, so they're in trouble all around. And Watson, you can all carry and save them in Tobago. So I don't know what the madness they're talking about. All PNM people have to do is stay strong, stay resilient, and look at the fact. Don't let Watson, you can them tie up all over the zipline different thing again, and all will be well. JuJu, Mr. Ruka, I look on and listen. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Caller, thank you for holding. Welcome.
Yes, my dear. Good afternoon to you, JuJu.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon to Mr. Ruka.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, those in Tobago who want some sort of prominence and power to make themselves feel good, they really are political masturbators in truth. Understand? Let me tell you, you remember Mr. Jack Warner? When he went down and he won the Shogunas, is it Shogunas East or West?
West, okay.
Right. When he won that seat, oh boy, people say tide turning, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the king was called.
Then he lost his deposit.
And they lick up Mr. Warner. You understand? So let them feel like the tide turning, you know? Those political masturbators, let them feel so. So all I have to tell the people of Tobago to be watchful. Don't fall for no mama guy. Don't let no people. You see, because these people have an agenda. Their thing is keep Tobago out. Get rid of Tobago. All of a sudden, everybody loves the Tobago. It come like people falling down like flies in America and UK and things. And oh, they love Trinidad and Tobago. And when I talk to some of those imps out there, oh, I can't come back home. Things are too expensive in Trinidad and Tobago. All of them want to come back home now because by corona in their skin. You understand? So it's the same thing. They all love Tobago because they figure, well, if we get Tobago, if we get Duke to go with Tobago, we go have Trinidad to ourselves. And we could penetrate, we could do what we want, and we could reign supreme. Man, it's a set of power-hungry, set of foolish people we have to deal with. Okay. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Caller, you have a minute. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think hearing Tobago is as easy. It is good sometimes to look in within yourself and adjust yourself. Okay? I understand that they're fighting for Tobago. But at the end of the day, you know what, in the CNN, there was a lot of infighting in Tobago.
That is not true.
Like I said, go ahead, caller.
So all the things that we've seen, even from before, even out in the last political leader in Tobago, was there no controversial, nothing in relation to that whole
his comments is wasting. When you are cutting one another throat, drinking the blood, you know, real ring long dog fight. I doesn't hear them talking that.
Yes.
Hear them. You must expect.
And even with that ring down dog fight that you're referring to in the UNC, they don't shift their votes. They don't shift their vote. They close
Party
rank,
mash
and
up
after that,
from UNC again, COP and this one and that one. The PNM people will always have differences in
political parties, in organizations.
That is split in Tobago. They fight.
That wasn't anything to cause the people in Tobago to turn away.
The people in Tobago.
You know why it's rather interesting again? Are you telling me the people are so puerile?
Yeah.
They're so petty that they choose personal issues over the kind of development that
look at
in Tobago?
And don't have that throwing it in your face. Telling all you know, the worst thing to do is to bite hand that feeding all you. And I don't want Tobagonians to take this out of context. That is feeding all you, but don't bite hands on the whole.
We out of time, but you know, the more I listen to some people talk,
Yeah.
I am seeing this like some of them bad relationship with some of them bad women who had nice husband and they go and on the husband because the husband didn't allow them to wear some
How them girl and them so boy? Long time only like money man. Now you like susu man. This is from the age of 10. Had my first girlfriend, I didn't have no paper when she wanted ice cream from right round the bend. But don't fast forward later then. How much money you spend? This small susu hand way I get. She marking every cent. You see I trust too much girl in life. You see I make too much a bad choice. You see I try to do what is right. Never me again. I'm jamming them girls for spite. I hand in first. All them girl is the worst. I hand in first. Can't take it in reverse. I hand in first. All them girl is the worst. I hand in first. Can't take it in reverse. I hand in like more money to spend, I juggling both of them. The friend and the best friend, and they want me to spend the what? Pay the bills and rent. The two susu hand way I get, she still say she take cash and check. You see I trust too much girl in life. You see I make too much of a choice. You see I try to do what is right. Never me again. I'm jamming them girls for spite. I hand in first. All them girl is the worst. I hand in first. Can't take it in reverse. I hand in first. All them girl is the worst. I hand in first. Can't take it in reverse. I hand in like ba ba la ba la bam bam ba la ba ba la ba la bam bam ba la ba ba la ba la bam bam ba la ba ba la ba la.
I say we hungry for carnival, the hunger is real. Just feed your bacchanal spirits with KFC to bank a deal. This is how you want hesitate. Hear the rhythm and feel the bass. When you're flexing safe in your own place, the bank a deal. So when you feel that to banker, KFC had the answer. To pure carnival to banker, yes, KFC had the answer.
Feed your carnival spirit and save like an expert with 2 pieces of irresistible chicken and 1 regular side for just $25. Answer your carnival to banker with the Tabanka deal at KFC.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Join Pan Trinbago on its Pan is Spirit virtual concert series, keeping the vibes alive and the sweetest pan in the world. Live Sunday, February 7th and Saturday, February 13th at 8 p.m. via pay-per-view on Tizik.com and WAP platforms. Keeping the vibes alive and the sweetest pan in the world. Top medium and large bands in the nation. Featuring National Panorama Champions Desperados and NGC Kuvo Joylanders. Courts Sound Specialist, Face 2 Pan Group, Cats and Jammers, Panberry, and many more. People's Choice Prizes to be won. Text to vote your most vibes and the sweetest band. Buy your tickets today. Log on to Tizik.com, that's Tizik.com, and purchase your tickets. You don't want to miss out on these spectacular steel pan events. Prosperity in Pan. For further information, contact events at pantrinbago.co.tt 623-4486 or visit Pantrinbago's social media pages. Keeping the vibes alive and the sweetest pan in the world.
No carnival, no problem.
Finally, a line of baking products that caters for the gluten-free, cholesterol-free, egg-free, and dairy-free person. Enriched with sesame, flax meal, and chia seeds. Also try our line of seasonings and spices that are ideal for diabetic, kidney, heart, colon, and hypertensive persons. Perfect for the whole family. Healthy O, the healthier way to go. Find it in a supermarket near you.
Join Bishop Aaron and the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries together with ministers and choirs from Ghana, the Republic of the Congo, the Republic of Uganda, the United States, London, and from right here in Trinidad and Tobago on February 6th and February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on the Street 919 FM. For a closer look at spiritual principles of the Acts of the Apostles and a renaissance of your own faith in Jesus Christ. Bishop Aaron and the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries on February 6th and February 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here on the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back. 5 minutes after the hour of 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Yes.
We could do it
Stay
on next
focused.
hours here.
Stay focused.
Right.
Before we go back in, let me remind you folks, this week on Iowa Stage, Worship Wednesday with a live performance by J Prince at 6 p.m. Thursday, Tuco presents Classic Russo, featuring all-rounder, crazy, versatile, Shirlane, Lady Wonder, Contender, Robbie G, Brian London, Hamidullah, Dr. Wilby, Taifa, Manchild, Stanley Adams, Kaiso Mack, Gary Hercules, Mechanic, Mark Eastman, King Soul, God Sinclair, KC, The Dream, Sideways, Nefta at 7 p.m. Big Cast. Friday, Color Me Calypso, streaming in collaboration with WAC 90.1 FM live from 7 p.m. Saturday, things we did before, throwback on a Saturday at 7 p.m. We close off the weekend with a live playback from Mr. King at 6 p.m. Contributions can be made via the following. Using your B Mobile or Digicel handset, text your name to 9191, which allows you to contribute only TT $20. Go to Fund Me TNT, choose the campaign of your choice and contribute. U.S. fans, please use Cash App payable to 1-863-594-3659. Streaming live on Facebook at The Street 919 FM and Neil Iwer George, YouTube at Iwer TV, and The Street also Iwer George on IG. Sponsored by ADC Supermarket, NLCB, Super Quality, American Stores, KFC, and of course, Kashi. We continue.
I wanted to just draw to your attention that if there are some constitutional lawyers in Trinidad, quite a few.
Several.
And I think these persons are the best persons to guide us as to what are the possibilities here. Because if we are going to interrupt or make adjustments to the Constitution, we are going to need the opposition support. Do you think we are going to get the opposition support to amend the Constitution, Juliet? Do you believe so?
Well, given recent vintage vis-a-vis the
Just give me a long intellectual answer. I tell you, yes or no?
Elections we're not in a courtroom. We're not in a courtroom. Man, you break my trend that taught me.
Listen, I say no. Kamala not supporting no constitutional amendments?
Yes and no.
Right, good.
I was about to tell you, given the recent results in the Tobago THA, if the results were different and Watson Joke and they had wrestled the THA from the PNM, yes. Yes. But given the results and the deadlock, they would not support it once a PNM control is in the assembly. That's my position. That's why I couldn't answer yes or no.
All right.
It all depends on who is in the THA.
I'm telling you, Kamala, the opposition wants no good thing for the people.
Let's go to the
for the Tobago people.
For the Tobago people.
They don't want no good thing for African
because
people.
They told them thanks. But when you listen,
when you listen
to what Ralph,
that's another poison chalice statement.
What Ralph would have told them about their development and what the chamber lady, what's her name, Donna Haddad, told them about the development in Tobago. It is clear they are saying thanks, you all made yourself fools. Because all of this you all got and you wanted to throw it away simply because a man just banding about autonomy for Tobagoans and some nonsense about zipline. Caller, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, JuJu.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
How your son going?
They are fine, my sons. They are both fine. I guess you are talking about the one with the incident. He's okay. Thanks.
Just watch them, them ain't want nothing good for. Of what relevance how your son going?
No, don't say that. People have genuine interest.
Genuine interest?
Yeah.
There's genuine interest. I want to get some homework. See if we can find out first now see if we can get some documentary proof of fact regarding the issue with that zipline thing in Tobago for me and something about some artist who was paid money. You can get some facts about that now because a lot of Tobagoans apparently bitching about them two issues.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy that the caller raised that issue because to my mind there is a lot of dishonesty being played out now by the Tobagonians given the results of the elections. They want to justify
why they did what they did.
Dotishness. But again, I will come back. Yes, I will come back again to the Tobago people at Ruka. And I will come back to Donna Haddad and I will come back to Ralph Mirage.
He's not Tobago.
There is so much development taking place in Tobago. You cannot tell me that you went to the polls to throw away all that on the basis as some artists get some check.
And if you know, Juliet, this small money thing they're talking about, you know.
Look,
Juliet, I wanted to just
I
wanted to just remember the 1818 grid.
Hold on, caller. Yes.
Remember that? Remember that when that came about, before we made constitutional amendments, changes.
Yeah, and the confederation with the EBC.
Yeah, before we did that, the president, Mr. Robinson, in his infinite wisdom, went to the Constitution and made a decision and said, I am going to give the leadership of the THA to this particular party because of
the opposition.
Moral and spiritual values, which is a part of our Constitution, which is words written into our Constitution. How come? I'm just drawing this point because I want to juxtapose that there's another.
Yes.
There's another solution to this imbroglio.
Okay.
How come they didn't file an election petition and go to court to stop Mr. Robinson from installing the PNM into office? How come they didn't do that? It is because the president is surrounded, insulated as it were, from litigation, criminal or civil. I want the president of our country to intervene.
Okay.
Ma'am, go in. You can remove the THA secretary, remove the chief secretary, install another one. You can reinstall. The president have the constitutional backing to fix this problem, and he cannot legally. I
don't want the president to go
but they
in
did
there.
it before.
I know. I'm not saying no, but I'm saying I don't agree, and I'll tell you why I don't agree when we come back to this call. Caller, good afternoon and welcome. Caller is on the line.
Good afternoon to you, Miss Davy, and good afternoon to you, Mr. Aruka, and the listeners as well. Miss Davy and Mr. Aruka, you know what is very troubling for me in all of this, apart from the fact that we have some fully done people who are eligible to vote in this country. What is most troubling for me, right, is the fact that we have a police service and we are supposed to believe that the things that being done, right, are just unethical or immoral and no laws were broken. So we still have some politicians to deal with and up in our faces that's now calling for investigations on votes, on this and that and the other, right? But we still want an investigation in the building that we cannot find. We still want to get to the bottom of the two helicopters, and one is apparently
we still want to get to the bottom
so
of
I am going out on a limb.
We still want to get the investigation into the wastewater treatment plant on the Bitam.
But we still want to find out
why we
about
fighting up
Cambridge Analytica as well too?
Go ahead, caller.
What now, Mr. Griffith, with Cambridge Analytica? You understand? You up in our face telling us that the UNP or Mr. Sadbi is not the problem. Clearly you are a cockroach. Clearly you are a cockroach as well, Mr. Griffith. Because you have to be a fool for us to believe that all these things that happen, that convince the population to get rid of Ms. Prasad Bisesa, that there is no criminal activity that warrants the police investigating or holding these people the same length of time that you want to detain Ms. Davy and Chicharan and them for? Mr. Griffith, you see all you are telling all them big gun and this and that, all they're hiding behind and this nice uniform. All you have to remember, all these human beings, you know, and always going to come up against human beings like all itself, who is going to make a decision that they're not going to take the bias treatment anymore. When are you all going to open all your face and to the reality? All you have a big part to play than just sitting down and casting blame. Miss Davy, you running this program. If you find methods to just ship out all Mr. George's equipment and all kind of things, clearly we have things to look into there.
That's correct.
But Ms. Prasad Bisesa and them do what they want in this country. You're going to dig up in Miss McDonald underwear. You want to dig up in Miss Marlene things. Why you not digging up in the statement that Miss McDonald made reference to the tipping off? Why are you not digging up in that? all the up and down the place and for people backside.
Okay, thank you. Leave it there.
Juliet, the caller is absolutely right.
Yeah, but we have another caller.
Right.
Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon to Sister Juliet.
Welcome.
And good afternoon to Mr. Ruka.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, I listen to everything. And you see, I just have a problem with people with education. I don't have a problem with it. I do not care what people say. Because education, anybody have education, they are following the white man and what he put in the world, the system that he put in the world, and you have to learn that to run the world. But wisdom, knowledge and understanding is what God gives us to walk the earth with. And when I see men like Ras Maharaj, Wilford James, all them fellas who say them big political analysts and all kind of things, where did they went? Where did they went? To the same white man education system. And they are no good at that because check all of them and see if they're not a waste of time. They are a waste of time.
Yeah, they're wasting me time and two times, you.
Instead of
going
to educate, they should be planted, instead of big education, they should be planting estate. Also, you have fruits. They have food to eat. Because it's a waste of time with these fellas. I don't even want to listen to them. What these fellas good? They call it this investigation with the PNM. Hundreds of millions of dollars under Kamala Prasad Biseswar cannot answer for. And where the police in all these things. There's the police in all these things. If the police in here, a man going on there and take $1,000, $2,000, the whole police force gone behind him. It is hundreds of millions of dollars in order unaccounted for. And what the UNC getting on so now is because it's 20 from today, that's 24 more days. Ram Logan and Ram Dean have to go before the judge the 25th of this month. So they get judiciary now. They're trying all sorts of things, but let them come. No evil could stand before a child of God. None. And they're working on the altar of Satan. Is there? All of them is there. All of them is at Satan altar, and they can do it. Never prosper. Have a blessed day.
Okay. Let me read this. What Ralph Marat said. Do I have a call on the line? By the way, caller, are you there?
Hello.
Yes. Welcome.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
Hello.
Welcome.
Ms. Davies.
Yes.
Mr. Aruka.
Good afternoon, sir.
I blame in the Prime Minister for 20 things, you know. That white cockroach police commissioner is not a policeman.
No, we cannot do that.
And the policeman, watchman should be the commissioner of police, not that man. He knows nothing about police work, madam.
Okay.
You
Thank
could
you
say
very
what
much.
you want.
We understand your hurt and disappointment. We understand.
Thank you very much. But caller,
There is a hard fella to love, you know.
Let me caution you all. I know that the minister of the commissioner of police would have gone on record referring to people as cockroach. You know, but we don't want to put the station in any problem, calling anybody any names that is not radio friendly. Okay?
Calling them back. We calling people?
We can do our job. We have been doing it, and we have been doing it very clean and effective. Let's continue along that line. Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Ms. Davy, and good afternoon, Mr. Ruka. How are you today?
Good afternoon, sir.
You know what really hurting me more? I've been hearing a name talking about that person is going on a UNC podium. And I'm very disappointed that
Karen
individual.
Teixeira?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, she in the same class as of Maraj and Mariana Brown. You know, really got me more. I remember 10 years ago, the UNC was bashing her name in that so-called Kiko fiasco.
Yeah.
And drag her name in the mud. And that was the only reason that she lost her seat to a particular big mouth man. Remember the big mouth man was also lambasting her too?
Yes.
So to see her sitting down and eating with the enemy right now, to talk about.
No, but so the Constitution guarantees you a right to fit a political party of your choice. So I see nothing wrong with
She carries nothing to the UNC, so
she has
waste of time as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but you see what happened to these people blasting and wash out your name in mud, drag your name in mud for 10 years ago. And see, this is the reason why, Miss Davy.
Some people dog eat their shame. Some people dog eat their shame. You have to leave them.
Have all your archives and go back, because another Trinidadians have short-term memory loss. And the only way to go back to the archive, they're going from 2007, but apparently some media houses that deliberately erase all the information dated from 2000 up to 1995. You can't even get anything from the days in the parliament in 1995 backward. Like all the tradition, like they erase all the records. And this thing with Tobago thing, all they had to get the record with the so-called the Hindu religion leader who was talking about the men in Tobago.
I have that video. That is not a problem.
Play it again, because
okay, thank you. I will.
Forget. Thank you.
Yes.
Probably they want to be reminded. Probably they need to be reminded.
Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
JuJu, Mr. Pianam again.
Welcome.
I want to let them know. You know, I want people to understand the level of hypocrisy and the deceitfulness of this UNC government. How come this election go on, the by-election in Trinidad, they hear no calls for no recounts? How come then shoving thing down the EBC thing, and the thief, and the this and the that? How come they're not attacking the EBC, the songs? You understand? Yes. Only one thing, and people must watch these little things. All the undecided voters are talking to watch these little things. You understand? They are hypocritical. And I want to tell people something, I want to tell people something here today. Don't come to me with no black man talk and African talk and all they're trying to bash Dr. Rowley. Because Dr. Rowley is a successful African man. He's worked his way from the Bush and Mason Hall to become a big man in Whitehall, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, with a doctorate. Understand what I'm saying? A doctorate man, and he was easy to get. And he's now a whole of a doctorate. So don't come to me with all your African talk and want to bring down a great leader like Dr. Rowley. Because when Mr. Manu was there, all they bring him down. And then when he did, everybody know he was a good man. And not taking that chain up with Dr. Rowley. Great is the PNM and we shall peace. We'll lock down and listen, Julie.
Yes, man. That is how we just do it. When you come to beat the PNM,
don't draw
beat the PNM. Don't draw with the PNM. You understand? That is why you will have to stay and you will continue to use your poison pen against the PNM to talk about thank you Tobago.
I see they tried once again with a wrong table. First Kamala irrelevant. She have found a wrong table to debate the procurement bill. That is after the bill becomes law, you know. And if they hear the imp, and then I want to use radio.
That was the wrong table with Wade Mark and them last evening.
Yeah, Hamel Smith. New Delhi Shara.
Who Hamel Smith? The same Hamel Smith that was part of the People's Partnership.
Yes.
Look, let me go to the calls.
Wrong table.
Wrong table. Caller, good afternoon and welcome. Yes, caller, welcome. Caller, you are on.
Right, thank you. I'm just saying,
caller, you will have to call us back. You are breaking up. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Mr. Ruka.
Yeah, Juliet. These irrelevant persons on them. To what relevance these persons are when the bill have already been passed, it is already law. You're coming to look to see if you could try to score some kind of political point on this procurement bill. When the government asks you for an input in passing the bill, you refuse to support the bill. The Attorney General.
As a matter of fact, they stated that they will not be supporting nothing. They will not be supporting no bill.
The Attorney General had to go water down the bill to get it to pass with a simple majority. Now we have a problem with it. Kamala, you had your turn to make a contribution to
so are you saying boycott Kamala?
Boycott Kamala.
Because and the UNC, because I'm hearing UNC supporters calling for Blue Waters to be boycott.
But that's another story. When you come back
caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Because I want to do Blue Waters and them go take that.
Hello?
Welcome.
Thank you. Listen to me. That is a joke and all the bills and pass, but I'm discussing in truth. within discussion, and them really want, some people really want fame, When you observe Kamala Prasad said over this motion, she just wanted to be on TV. The same thing with this wrong panel. She just want to show her face. And so she could, listen to me, them are face. The bill already passed. We're not repeating anything. I can remember when they bring the bill about the weapons for the gun, the Nobel bill. She was saying to bring the same procurement legislation first and
to get the support, yes, to support.
The Nobel bill for people with automatic weapons. Now they bring the bill now, they didn't support it, it done pass, and you have a wrong table. They're really wrong side and shoot. And the people of them would sign up and put a name on that and sit down on that wrong table, really wrong side. It done pass. What do you do? If you want the legislative agenda that the People's National Movement put there, it has nothing to do with that bill they're talking about. So I don't know what they're trying. But they're trying. And another thing is that they're stealing the wrong and the know this and the know that. There are a lot of people who didn't go out and vote.
That's correct, Kola.
Who is to say that it wasn't PDP? But let me tell you something. You see, them are losing streak. The UNC have to face reality. It's 5 years they have to wait election. But let me tell you something. A lot of them have some serious cases before the court. And it would make the Trinidad and Tobago citizens lives are living hell out.
Yeah,
thank you very much. You go right ahead.
Juliet, I see.
I have a caller on the line here.
You want to take the caller?
Yes.
Let me take that.
Mommy Sauce, hi, welcome.
Hey, Juliet, good day to you, to Mr. Ruka and everybody who locked on.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Mommy Sauce, long time I hear.
Yeah, there. Juliet, here what you think about Farley saying that flip a coin?
They also said.
Wait, Mr. Ruka?
No, I heard that's part of law, or you could draw straws and things.
Well, guys, to show you how them take this thing for a real dolly how. Them not serious. Because when I hear that him he flip a coin to run the people at a big affair.
Yeah, by the flip of a coin. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's so. That's what that alone he couldn't get my vote. Look, you see me? Let me go.
Thank you. Kuala, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, you can see we what them in Tobago. We what Tobago corrupt. So them can't come to Tobago, don't care, but they think Tobago now what them do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Juliet, we were talking off here that we heard Mr. Roberts making some very, very deflammatory statements against a conglomerate.
Yes.
A multi-million going into billion, and not one. He's attacking the Blue Waters CEO, Mr. Dominic Hadid.
Yes.
Because Mr. Dominic Hadid came into the public and let them know, look, listen, this is how the exemption policies work. We applied. We did everything they said, and they cleared it up. I don't know if, well, I do know that Mr. Roberts is a UNC senator, and he would have been instructed by the interrupter-in-chief herself to go and make a fool of yourself because you're the black man.
She did it to him before.
Because you're the black man.
In the Mary King issue, I told people here, I was in Parliament, it was still at the Red House, and Anil Roberts came out and called me from in the gallery and relayed to me that he was instructed by his leader to go out and say the things that he said about Mary King.
Well, I'm glad you say that, and I'm glad it's a record that he got instructions from Kamala. In law, she can be held responsible for Mr. Roberts' behavior. So any demise that comes to him can be transferred onto Kamala as a third party, because you cannot have your employees and them doing mischief out there, and when they get into problems, they are alone standing the bounds. Because Mr. Mr. What?
In the case with this drug accused.
Drug accused.
From Peparo.
Or Dolce.
Right. What was Dolce's involvement in the matter?
An accomplice.
Thank you very much.
he was an accomplice and he was hung for being an accomplice.
Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Roberts attacking persons, trying to destroy their business based on a man coming and talking the truth and explaining to the country, look, listen, all this stupidness, all the talking, I applied, this is the policy, we got through, this is the government policy. He started to attack Dominic, or very serious people who have very serious business interests, and I'm waiting to see if they wouldn't swim for defamation and libel and the whole shebang.
Caller, 1 minute. Caller?
Yes, dear.
Yes, go right ahead.
Will you say 1 minute?
Yes.
All right. What I want to say, by the way, guys, while you are at it with this round table, and we have Mrs. Teixeira there, her baby was the Revenue Authority bill. Can we discuss it? I hope she brings it to the table, the round table, to discuss the Revenue Authority
Look at
bill.
that. Juliet, she's absolutely right. Mrs. Teixeira,
I wanted to know who out here gave us out here. We have memories like an elephant. And secondly, to Mr. Anil Roberts, you want to boycott Blue Waters. Are you telling people to boycott the Ramtaran milk with all the racial slurs? Are you going to tell people don't go by that doctor down in South with all the racial slurs? Are you going to tell people about that?
Leave it there. I'm sorry we're out of time. You can always call back. Folks, keep it locked. Don't go anywhere.
Together we are fun. When we're together we are great. Whether on the road or home, now is the time to take a break. The greatest flavors hand in hand, hold back hunger all the way. Working, liming, Dixie all the way. Share the good times, work till the moonlight. When it comes to snack, no matter the mood, there's a Dixie for that. There's a Dixie for that.
Nescafe 3-in-1.
A rich coffee aroma that fills your senses up. A flavor that you savor and overflows your cup. 3-in-1 coffee, cream and sugar, please. Rich, right and ready to go. A perfect Nescafe.
Nescafe 3-in-1 coffee, cream and sugar. Just add water and experience a perfect cup of coffee every time.
3-in-1 coffee, just add water, please. Rich, right and ready to go. Perfect Nescafe.
Nestle, good food, good life.
The Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James is now on the Street 919 FM every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday. The Bible says, the Gospel of the Kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end shall come. For more info, call 652-0924 or 298-4540 and join us every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday for the Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James.
Share the Lodge. Share the Lodge. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the Lodge. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the Lodge. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the Lodge. The Street 919 FM.
Okay, folks, just about 25 minutes again before we close off and go to the other presenter, because, you know, we know the street, so we talk to the street. So from 5 a.m. straight up to 6 p.m., talk 91.9 style. Go right ahead, Mr. Ruka.
Juliet, you know,
hold on, please.
Mrs. Nunez Teixeira, as the caller was just reminding us, piloted the Revenue Authority bill while she was under the Manning regime.
Right.
So she will go down in history as that being what a legacy. That's a contribution.
Did the opposition support the
right now,
Revenue
Juliet, that
Authority.
same Revenue Authority bill. I don't know how Ms. Teixeira would be able to sit with them on a round table when Mrs. Prasad Bisesa have the Revenue Authority right now hook up in the court under some legal charge,
So then-
just to make
so then
sure
what you
that
saying-
it doesn't see the light of day.
So then, in other words, what you are saying to the listeners and to our viewers is that Nunes Teixeira will have some blows to take
for
because
that.
because of the issue of the Clico and the insider trading debacle that subsequently was one of the issues that caused the Malin administration to lose the 2010 general election.
Well then, Juliet, Ms. Teixeira really, it's surprising me.
Sometimes some people must know when to stay back because the only thing she exposes herself to now is blows. Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Juliet and Mr.
And with people who, let me tell you, caller, just a minute, Google was absolutely correct. Nunes Teixeira was a woman who the UNC dragged her name through the mud.
Listen, Kamala in particular, you know, she took aim at Teixeira, you know.
I only hope the PNM. I only hope that the PNM handlers, where their communications is concerned, they must go back to the files and bring back what the UNC said about Nunes Teixeira.
It was so bad, Juliet. Kamala used to call she Karen. It was really bad. It was really terrible. Yeah, go ahead.
Juliet, I want to just be careful, because I want to be careful what I say. You was told by a certain person who is a senator here now that he has been instructed by Kamala Prasad Bisesa to do certain things.
I wrote that in my article when I was at the Mirror. I was in the gallery. The footage of the parliament will show that. Anna Roberts, when he saw me, he left his seat in the house. Came to me. Called me out. And we had a one-on-one outside. Outside the door of the parliament there.
And he told you what he was.
And he told me because he was attacking Mary King. And he told me
it's not the first time I heard that story.
That he was instructed. But if you go back to the history of the People's Partnership, you would see it is not only Anil, but anytime
is the African
anytime there is an issue involving Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the government, a member of parliament always comes forward to clear her name and to attack the person who is the subject.
Right. And that is, you see, that is one of, because I that is my view of what I see for passing for politics under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, that she never takes responsibility for nothing. I have seen that, and I've been saying that a lot of times over the airways. But this is what I want to get to what? Because who is to say that Ralph Maraj has been instructed to write some of the things that he writes? Because I sometimes I can't understand what he's getting at, because I have heard Ralph Maraj say that Kamala Prasad Bisesa has her status as she has something gracefully into politics, and she's now a leader at shrink grip. And as he said that, it didn't take a week after that she do some crap, and he just gets quiet and he says nothing. And when I look to see if he would write anything in his articles on a Sunday paper, and he doesn't. He just doesn't. And when you tell him about it, he gets angry, and then he tries to insult you by using some words that he thinks that people would not know. But it is the immediately says something, you know, you just go on Google. But Ralph Maraj and Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and I keep saying that because recently there, in a recent thing there, with the no confidence vote against the National Security Minister, she said that she did not, in other words, she didn't send anybody to make any protest outside there. and she pulled herself out.
Caller, I'm happy that you said that. Because if you take your mind back to the influx of the Venezuelans in this country.
I want to address that incident.
The influx of the Venezuelans in this country, you will recall one Kia ranking boss who went with some of the very same protesters outside the parliament there a couple of days ago. Kamala, a big bacchanal came out of it.
And she distanced
herself. And Kamala distanced herself from it too.
And who get more money and who can
Thank you.
That caused a real big
keep saying she knows nothing about them thing. And she keep pulling herself out and pretend that thing about. And I keep telling Oli again, you know, Kamala is the mastermind behind
everything.
All these things, you know.
Everything.
All from Facebook, go right back.
Thank you.
Who blows the dog whistle? When you have Ramtran and them making these nasty statements, and the doctor,
she blows the whistle, and then the dogs come running out.
Yet. Up to now, we think they're falling. You think that they just get up one day and decide to just attack African people just so?
No, that's
It's the dog whistle. Kamala Prasad is the one. That is the mastermind behind everything. Without Kamala Prasad, you'll see all fellas like Andrew Roberts and Kings, you know, them with just would enter to nothing. There would be nothing. We hear about them again, and there will not be in any parliament. She would be no media running and pushing no mic in his face. He won't be up on Facebook talking at tutu. And this next one, every time he come, he had to come and talk about how great Kamala Prasad is. Let us call him King, whoever he is, because that they're working for the lady. They have been employed by her to just do these things, just to continue putting misinformation, even little lie. Look at Kirk Mayhew. This man has brought himself down and his image down to the lowest ground, you know.
If Kirk Mayhew had image.
He's telling us on Facebook that he's calling on the UNC people and them. When all they're outside, they make sure all they're playing because they're saying and they're twisting it. But you know, when you watch, who hitting the reporter? It's the same UNC person who filming the whole thing, hit the reporter from inside the group of UNC people inside, one of them inside, they hit the reporter because I can't call the person name because I can see the person.
Yes.
But the reporter was outside behind
a railing?
Behind the railing. And they pushing the camera in her face, so she was just putting she hand to block the camera and the person slap away she hand.
And that is an assault.
And Mayhew is trying to turn around that the reporter slapped them, their cameraman. And he's so stupid. It's there. Everybody's seeing it. And he's just lying. He tried to use it. Recently he wrote a book. I just read certain articles of the book and I realized that this man trying to twist the history in Trinidad and Tobago. And I was saying that we need to hear more from Fudi Ferrer of the PNM, because on his book, to set some of the things that he's saying is right, because a lot of students will have to like do the research and they've been going to his book to get certain information, and that information is not correct.
Juliet,
thank you, caller. Deal with them. Thank you very much.
You see that what our caller said is quick. Maybe he talking about what?
There had to be, yes.
Listen, that is why Dr. Rowley, from the minute he came into office, commission, I think a 4-man commission, to do the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Because them usurpers, those usurpers and them have continue to write things that are not true, trying to change the history, trying to change the truth, you know.
UNC and the Hindu cabal have always attempted to rewrite the history
of Trinidad and Tobago. So when I say people had to go and who doing research, had to go and research Kirk Mayhew and them, it's false information they will be giving them.
Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon again. Very quickly, I just want to say I find the PNM that the guys must kick with the enemy, because it appears to me, right? Is it only Anand Logan could instruct these dopey police and them to arrest people and look for evidence after? We want Kamala and US and them arrested and only look for the evidence after. What the hell? We have buildings to look for. We have helicopters missing. We have money all over the place. What's going on in this country? After that dopey head cockroach police are gone.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Juliet.
Well, it seems that we're getting,
You're getting agitated.
Juliet, we have to have control.
Juliet, I saw a frank comment assault on a TV3 TNG3 reporter. Frank comment.
Yeah.
It was glaring for everybody to see.
Yeah.
But what I have not seen is the results from that assault. Well, how come me and see man before the court already answering charges?
How come Martin say nothing?
For assault and battery because the person was slapped, and I want them to know, if you want to know, check the doctrine of vicarious liability. Pauline Kamala, because those are her employees. She can't have she people wearing she vest, and when they slap people, she said, "Me I know them. I didn't shock them." When they swing, you have to sue people of means.
Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon.
I want to say thank you to my law lecturer. I want to say thank you, Miss Moore.
You can go right ahead, caller.
Go ahead, sorry.
Good afternoon, Miss Juliet. And Mr. Kukurit.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I want to ask you if you know call out. Ma'am, go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am. I tired all yes?
Go right ahead.
Miss Juliet, just imagine, we supposed to make fire Kamala so long, girl.
Correct.
Just imagine that woman being slaughtered left, right, and center, and she running in the parliament to make bacchanal with bacchanal and all kind of things before. She has a grandmother and a great grandmother, wherever she is, look to get some idea to run in the parliament to give the government, to protect woman. Nothing. It's only bacchanal the woman making. One more thing again, Miss Juliet. I heard Munilal saying that the government spying on him. But Miss Juliet, let me ask you a quick question. If you lineman in St. James driving, let me say you just drive, and you lineman in St. James with Mr. Kukurit, and somebody pass, let me say you have your husband, right? And somebody pass and see you and Mr. Kukurit there. And when the person, when you go home now, your husband know that you and Mr. Kukurit was inside St. James, wherever lineman,
you go ahead.
And you drop him home and XYZ after, and then you come home and your husband telling you everything that you did on that night. The first thing what will come to your head is, wait now, like my husband was spying on me, because how everything I do, my husband know I do. You understand? So you know what the best thing for me to do? Let me rush out and let everybody know he does spy on me. You understand? Because you understand what I'm saying, Miss Juliet?
You see that joke?
Miss Juliet, have a blessed evening.
She's real trouble. I listened to her yesterday on the program with Dominic. Boy, I get mad. She's at way off analogy, but she's absolutely correct. Because one time I go run in front and let people know my husband is be spying on me.
Right. Yeah, because you're doing a mischief. You run in front one time. Take in front. Before in front take you. We fed up with Munilal and them and Nash Chopiness. What the government spying on you for? If you ain't doing nothing wrong, what is your problem?
Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. Ms. Davy and Ms. Hulker, a few callers back was talking about Romantra. About, where was Romantra where...
Well, we are now talking about Romantra.
Yeah, this leader was threatening this official, the auditor person, so don't come to Tobago. Then, if that lady had talk, I think the outcome of that election was a little different. But tell me something, this thing of Mantra, then this same political leader was asking women to sew undergarments as a mask.
Yeah.
Where was that organization, ma'am? You didn't talk about that. That wasn't disrespectful to women. I know the sad thing about it. I see women was actually following his instructions, So everybody love that man. Women love him. And the next thing too. These guys, Mr. Rav Maharaj, they giving him plenty better life, I remember when Mr. Manan was having a press conference, and I seen Rav Maharaj at his side and say, all right, everything seemed to be good and thing with the thing. Mr. Rav Maharaj was back with the cleaner. But then I remember something. I know that Mr. Manan didn't have was to that other bit of Dr. Rowley and I think Mr. Rafa was still there, but I tell myself Mr. Rafa is not back in the food of the PNM. Me know Mr. Rafa is still bitter after all these years. You know? It's very unfortunate. I don't know what's happening me too. Some of these so-called PNM who didn't get selected for candidacy in the local government election, they run as independents. This is where people had to cool themselves and close ranks. I remember Ramona Rambia was very unhappy about a candidate who went up for governor. You think she went up independent, Miss Davy?
No, but go ahead, we cannot close it up.
Okay, but let me give you a bad thing, This is a bad precedent because of school in the gypsy. Miss Davy, if PNM decided to take you, Dane Franco or Dominic as candidate, okay, cool. What would the PNM supporters say? They go say, well, you don't like it because all it used to be UNC or ILP? Or it's not PNM? You see where I'm coming from? Because I understand now why the PNM was the regional corporation, because apparently two of the members used to be UNC and the PNM people didn't like them because they used to be UNC. So I asked myself, is it a bad person because Dominic Romain could be a good candidate? But PNM supporters would say, well, you don't like him because he used to work with Jack One and Sunshine.
Okay, leave it there.
Okay,
thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much. Caller, quickly. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Juliet. There is superstition. You know, there are Mr. Cotton Chief fell in Tobago some weeks ago, and people talk about the spirits. I guess putting the folklore into it and the superstition. And I read over the weekend, they said, because the chief fell, that's why there was a tie. That's superstition. I say, I want to say good afternoon to the law student also, Mr. Ruka.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you. You wanted to say hi to someone? Your lecturer?
Oh, my lecturer, Miss Moore. Good afternoon, Miss Moore. That's my lecturer in contract law.
Miss Moore?
Yeah, Miss Moore.
Miss Moore allows you to behave yourself disorderly.
No. I think she might have something to say about my behavior.
Well, very well. I hope she does, Miss Moore? Okay.
Okay, Miss Moore.
You have a very good student. You know, he will become a fine attorney someday. But he need a little training, Okay. Caller, good afternoon and welcome.
Juliet and Mr.
We don't want to be the judge.
God, you come and cocoa it. Ask a man, one man say cocoa it.
Mr. Ruka.
This is what I tell you. Ask one man say the cocoa it.
Because I think probably like I was on the moon or some kind of thing.
Yeah, it could be. Well, go back on the moon, that's all.
Didn't the man who said the spine on him there, his name is Rudal Murilal?
Yeah. Wherever he is.
Did he say he went Miami and went to some bank and get documents?
No, he worried about somebody's spine.
He even insulted the police and tell them that Israel police. I can do investigation for you.
But he worried about man's spine on him now. I tell you, they're wasting with time.
Did he come to the parliament and say thing and tell me that something with Dr. Rowley and Maduro to send gas to thing and he has thing and all kind of nonsense? Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
So what when they call that? Lies.
Plain outright lies.
Call that lies. At least what Dr.
Misrepresentation.
You call that fabricating.
Yeah.
Remember he didn't come
with a hazmat suit, I said Dr. Rowley fabricate a story.
Some merit thing. But you put no serious lies.
Yeah.
I mean, these people went so far as to get documents, structure it.
Yes.
Put it out in
the newspaper, in the media.
Into the thing there. Get this international
first time
to come and print it and ask questions about it. And then he now come and want to put that in the parliament to debate it when they lie. And you know what has get me what has get me vexed with them, right? You see the same arrangement that Petrotin dealt with him under their administration. They did the same arrangement with the man. So you know they know everything because they dealt with the people before on several occasions. But know what they do? They come and they doctor the paper and make it look thing and try to tie it in to tell me that Dr. Rowley send some gas to his partner Maduro to help him
Okay,
out
leave it
and
there,
get that
caller.
sanction.
We out of time. I'm sorry.
Juliet.
Caller, you